Newsource. I'm Maddie.
Coming up on Live at 5, bedbugs inside the Athens Clark County Courthouse cause trial and hearing delays. Sexuality and violence are the hot topics in an upcoming play where women have the floor to talk.
We still see a lot of these types of traumas and violences happening on an everyday basis. So there's definitely still an importance and need to have these conversations.
Then it's all lights, camera, and action for one UGA student who just premiered her own film. All of this and more right here on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening and welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm Maddie McCaffrey. We start things out tonight with bedbugs at the Athens Clark County Courthouse. The building is now closed for the rest of the week. Grady Newsource reporter Ashley Balsavius joins us live from the courthouse to give us more details. Hey, Ashley.
Hi, Maddie. I'm here live outside the Athens Clark County Courthouse, which has limited access to date through Friday due to bedbugs. Superior Court Chief Judge Eric Norris has canceled all jury trials and hearings. Now, courtroom access is limited to the back entrance on Hancock Street for emergency issues only. Now, this is also impacting non-judicial offices, including the tax assessor and tax commissioner office, which County Manager Blaine Williams decided to close.
I think we all sort of default to, well, that's a unsanitary place, but fact is, bed bugs hitch a ride on people. So it could have been somebody who works there, it could have been a visitor, and they have a colony there, and we have to deal with it. And that's, so I think getting folks out for the most part is the most important thing, in treating it and trying to get back into business is what we're doing.
Now, due to the number of people coming in and out of the courthouse every day, the cause of the bedbugs is unknown. While bedbugs cause itching and loss of sleep, the good news here is that they do not transmit disease, and they typically do not pose a serious medical threat. That's from the CDC. So don't worry too much if you think you've been bitten. As of now, the courthouse hopes to open back up on Monday, February 20th. However, Williams said don't plan on this, as treatment could take longer than expected. Also, the courthouse parking deck is still open as normal. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you for that update, Ashley. Calls for action from the governor of Michigan after the deaths of 3 university students in a shooting on Monday night. Quote, "We can't keep living like this," Governor Whitmer tweeted the day after the tragedy. She said Michigan must act against gun violence. Communities around the U.S. are in mourning, but there is also a lot of fear. So what are students supposed to do to protect themselves? Grady Newsource reporter Cooper Camp spoke with UGA police about safety on campus and what students should do to ultimately save their lives.
In the event of an active shooter being on campus, the number one thing you can do to protect yourself is flee. If you are not able to flee, make sure to lock and barricade the doors in the area that you are in.
And hide in a place where you are out of the shooter's view. This could be getting on the ground, ducking, and covering. From there, you should remain in place until law enforcement says that it's all clear. Taking action should be a last resort. Unless your life is in imminent danger, you should not take action against an active shooter. But if your life is in imminent danger, the best things that you can do is either to try to disarm the shooter themselves or by grabbing nearby objects and throwing them at the shooter aggressively. UGA's Office of Emergency Preparedness created the UGA Safe app to help response time in dangerous situations when you can't reach police. With features such as live chatting and mobile blue light, police are able to actively track your location and communicate with you without having to physically call them. This way, they can get to you as quickly as possible without a shooter knowing you have alerted police. Overall, fleeing, hiding, and calling for help are the best ways to protect yourself. With your safety demonstration, this has been Cooper Camp with Grady News.
Continuing on with campus safety, UGA students, faculty, and staff received an email highlighting the spring semester safety enhancements on campus. Grady Newsource reporter Rachel Branning joins us from the newsroom to explain what measures the Student Government Association and UGA Police Department are putting in place to keep us safe.
Yeah, Maddie, the email came early yesterday morning in wake of the shooting at MSU. And it explains the safety measures they've implemented on campus. And two major things the UGA Police Department have focused on are enhanced lighting and the implementation of security cameras both downtown and in pathways leading to campus. The lighting upgrades are already being implemented, and the cameras will be installed in the coming months, promising 500 different camera views by the end of the year. And the SGA also partnered with Lyft to expand their UGA Ride Smart program, now offering $7.50 discounts for students to get a safe ride home, a 50% increase from the previous $5 discount.
A lot of these things take a lot more moving parts than you would ever realize, but UGA acted extremely swiftly and smartly in implementing this Lyft rideshare program quickly, along with the lighting upgrades. I think that's been really special to see, and not just using words, but actually like real tangible change has happened in the past few years. And a lot of funds have been directed towards making sure that students feel safe on campus.
Additionally, the UGA Police have created a new position, the Associate Vice President for Public Safety, who will fully focus on campus safety. And UGA Police Chief Dan Silk will take over that position on March 1st. Reporting in the newsroom, Rachel Branning, Grady Newsource.
Thank you for that safety update, Rachel. An Athens organization that provides services and aid for victims of sexual assault and child abuse is hosting a performance of the Vagina Monologues this weekend. Proceeds from the show will go towards supporting its mission. Grady Newsource reporter Olivia Joachim spoke with the executive director of the organization to bring us the full story.
Between red and black costumes and a modest set, the Vagina Monologues might seem like a simple play, but the voices behind the performance are meant to resonate.
You don't realize how much women have in common, like, because I mean, we talk to each other, but sometimes we don't get that deep. And this really helped to, I guess, unify that in my mind.
Cassie and Malia are two of the performers this weekend in the Vagina Monologues. The play is hosted by The Cottage, an organization providing services and support to victims of sexual assault. Linnea Iano, executive director of The Cottage, has been a performer and is now a producer of the Vagina Monologues. When she first watched it as a college student, it resonated deeply with her.
I just found it was really amazing because a lot of things are being talked about that people never talked about.
I'm here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Athens, where this weekend's play will commence. The proceeds raised from the play will go towards supporting the Cottage's many services. In 2021, the Cottage reported helping 207 new adult clients, 171 of whom identified as female. Some of the services they offer include free counseling for children, as well as free counseling and group support for adults who have experienced sexual abuse. In the Vagina Monologues, each scene is a monologue of a different woman's experience. Some of the scenes are funny and empowering, while others show the trauma of violence against women and transgender people. Ayana wants the play to inspire and normalize conversations about difficult topics.
Given that we are a sexual assault center and child advocacy center, we still see a lot of these types of traumas and violences happening on an everyday basis. So there's definitely still an importance and need to have these conversations.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Olivia Wakeham.
The state legislature has proposed a bill that would lessen the requirements for cosmetology work in Georgia. Grady Newsource reporter Josh Telesky has more on its impact on stylists in Athens.
8 schools within Oconee County claim top spots within the state, according to the data analysis website Niche. Dove Creek Elementary is one of 8 in those top spots. Oconee Schools Director of Communications Stephen Colquitt explains how they are so successful.
And I can tell you this, you've got really talented, focused people in this system, and they have the noblest intentions that you could ever have. Their whole desire is to put our students in an opportunity to succeed. That they are given everything they need from a balanced education, a rigorous education, but we feel like they're going to be lifelong learners because of what they get through the Oconee County schools.
NISH evaluates and ranks schools based on reviews, public...
We apologize for the technical difficulties. So coming up, the best school district in the state is right here in Northeast Georgia, according to the NISH rank system. Which one is that? We'll have the answer when we return.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Oconee County Schools received recognition on the website Niche this week. Grady Newsource reporter Allie Piegler visits one elementary school to find out what makes them successful.
8 schools within Oconee County claim top spots within the state, according to the data analysis website Niche. Dove Creek Elementary is one of 8 in those top spots. Oconee Schools Director of Communications Stephen Colquitt explains how they are so successful.
And I can tell you this, you've got really talented, focused people in this system, and they have the noblest intentions that you could ever have. Their whole desire is to put our students in an opportunity to succeed. That they are given everything they need from a balanced education, a rigorous education, but we feel like they're going to be lifelong learners because of what they get through the Oconee County schools.
Niche evaluates and ranks schools based on reviews, public data, and surveys. Colquitt calls Niche a village award based on the way the community, system, schools, and students are all taken into account. Josh Martz, assistant principal and parent of a 5th grader at Dove Creek Elementary, talks about what draws him into the school as both an educator and a parent.
It's bigger than just Dove Creek. The support that we get from the county level is special, and that shows itself in the #1 ranked public school system in Georgia.
Dove Creek Elementary claimed the #1 spot on Niche for elementary schools in the state of Georgia. Not only that, the entire school system of Oconee County claimed the #1 spot as well. Allie Piegler, Grady Newsource.
Every Tuesday after the bell rings, students at Clark Central High can prepare for post-graduation through the Go Succeed program. Grady Newsource reporter Destiny Johnson joins me now. And Destiny, you visited the schools. Tell us a little bit about the program they offer.
Yes, so the program offers students a range of a bunch of services, including SAT prep, ACT prep, and also help with their college applications. Let's take a closer look.
I feel very passionately about making sure the educators in Barrow County feel supported. first and foremost of the students. I have a 13-year-old in Bear Creek Middle School, so, you know, I want all the students, any type of learning ability, interest, I want them to be supported. I want them to have the best opportunities to learn and grow, and become citizens that give back.
The technical difficulties, and we are going to take a look at Destiny's package video story here in just a moment. Oh, Destiny, so while we wait, tell me a little bit more about the program there at Clark Central High. Does it help them with their ACT scores? What is going on with the program?
Yes, so every day, every Tuesday after school, students are able to get ACT prep, and they're also able to sit there and go through various programs that they're helped out with. So I talked to a couple of coordinators from the program. They talked about how students are able to get the extra help they need if they're not able to get it at home. So that means college prep with their applications or anything in general to help them out.
Great. Well, let's take a look at the story.
The Go Succeed program is helping students of Clark Central High School prepare for life post-graduation. The program offers a range of services to students such as SAT prep and career support. The program started as an SAT summer camp last year. Shortly after, College Factory, a nonprofit organization in Athens that helps high school students accomplish their college, career, and workplace goals, provided funding for it this summer. Now Go Succeed is held each Tuesday at Clark Central High School.
Everybody has different needs. Some kids might want some time or some help with it on an essay, college essay, while some need to learn the ins and outs of like FAFSA or whatever, those things. And there's another student who we helped with their resume, so they can get a job.
The program exposes students to opportunities that exist beyond high school, including those who have parents that were unable to attend college. Aaron Horton, one of the facilitators of the program, says that some of the students struggle a little with where to focus their attention.
I was really kind of intrigued by the idea of having just kind of that extended time to work a little bit more one-on-one with students and work on developing some of their personal skills as well as some of their more academic skills, which seems to be the main focus of this program.
Carrie Emerson, a teacher at Clark Central High School, says that it may be harder to get this information to certain groups that are more difficult to reach.
A lot of times there's a language barrier between the school and the parents, so it can be more difficult to get those parents involved with the school, and I think it just takes extra effort on the teacher and school staff's part to make sure to try to connect with those parents in ways that they're comfortable with.
Brian Ash hopes that students are not as worried about their options when it comes to this big thing called after high school. He added that it's all about getting as much information out to them about college.
That was a great story. Thank you so much for that, Destiny.
Thank you.
Now coming up, we'll take a look at this week's forecast with Hannah Nelson. Hannah, how's the weather looking for the rest of this week?
Well, Maddie, we have some rain on the way, but that should clear up by the weekend. Stay tuned for a full weather report right after the break.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
You know, a lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hannah Nelson with your weather forecast. We've been experiencing some slight showers throughout the day today, but that's expected to clear out before this evening. And speaking of rain, be on the lookout for some for the rest of the week. There's a chance of showers on Thursday and Friday, with Thursday evening having a 90% chance of rain. The weekend looks to be sunny, and move over, with highs hovering to the mid to low 50s. But do watch out for the Friday and Saturday lows of 29 and 32 in case you have some weekend plans. And that's it for the weather. How's sports looking, Colin?
We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
And I'm Colin Oakes with your Grady Newsource Sports. Todd Monken, Georgia's offensive coordinator for the past 3 seasons, is heading back to the NFL, taking the offensive coordinator position with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Monken ran a modern pro-style offense with tight end heavy sets, which was a perfect fit for the Bulldogs, and Brock Bowers was definitely able to shine in that system. And if we want to look at the women's schedule coming up, because we have other sports, not just football here at UGA, believe it or not. We got the women's schedule. Gymnastics are starting Friday. They will play Alabama or have their, I don't know what you would call a gymnastics meet. Yes, gymnastics meets versus Alabama. Softball, they have a triple header coming up, or 3 different teams. Basketball, we got a women's basketball game against Arkansas, and tennis will play Georgia Tech. And for the men, we got a triple header coming up here for the, there you go, baseball. Triple header, Jacksonville State. That's going to be the first UGA baseball matchups of the season. Basketball, you see down there, #1 ranked Alabama. Now, you see that for football a lot, not so much for basketball. So UGA Bulldogs would be a big win going to Tuscaloosa, beating the top-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. And Moving on to the high school, spring sports are just getting underway, and we have a potential academic or athletic juggernaut there in North Oconee. Baseball team, 39-1, coming off a state championship. Boys and girls golf, also state champions. And gymnastics are going for not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 straight state championships. North Oconee, they are turning a program and putting the rest of the state on notice. With Grady Newsource Sports, I'm Colin Oakes. Back to you, Maddie.
Thank you, Colin. The spotlight is on for one UGA student producing her own film. We'll go behind the scenes when we come back.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckle tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
A UGA senior recently premiered her first film this weekend at the Cine Theater in downtown Athens. Grady Newsource reporter McGregor Rowland talked with Natalia Gonzalez about her new film and her future as an aspiring filmmaker.
Carrying the title wherever she goes, UGA EMST student and future filmmaker Natalia Gonzalez has just released her first film, Supercut. Gonzalez started the project a year ago. She took on the challenge of tackling the film at every angle, from writing to directing to producing. She views this as a process that she hopes can be easier in her future films.
I think if I had to do this again, I would get more people to help with casting or producing or so I can focus on the creative aspect of it.
Previously pursuing a degree in cognitive science, Gonzalez decided to switch pathways to a cinema career due to her passion and background in acting.
When I was on sets, when I was helping with student films here with students who were in EMST, I was like, this is so cool. Yeah. This is what you guys get to do for your major. So I think that's where it sparked. I was already interested in acting and I've been doing that. I always wanted to do that.
Gonzalez's initiative has been a source of inspiration, extending to those around her. Aspiring doctor Amanda Marie Sanchez is Gonzalez's roommate. She helps her with the film and looks up to Gonzalez in the utmost light.
Seeing her, especially taking on every role into making a short film like that, inspires me in becoming a doctor. I do need to take on these leadership roles, take on a lot of responsibility, and seeing her navigate that, it does inspire me.
While Gonzalez grows her own production company and works on more films, she looks to prove anything is possible when it comes to filmmaking.
I feel like it's really discouraging to hear someone say that's a lot of work when you want to do something. And so I want to be the production company that's going to be no, let's figure out a way to make this happen.
McGregor Rowland, Grady Newsource.
An elementary school in Jackson County that's set to open next year now has a name. The school board chose Heroes Elementary School.
COVID-19 just ending, going through that hard process, the way it affected our schools and our local heroes, we thought it would be a great way to honor the men and women of our military, our police, our fire, medical personnel, and our teachers who are heroes every day as well.
Construction on the school will start in April with plans to open it in August of 2024. And that's all we have for you tonight here at Grady Newsource. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next Monday. Have a good night.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
You know, a lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized
Score going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
Right, so this was a rocky show, technically speaking. However, as I told Destiny, you know, nothing can scare you anymore because you've dealt here in the sandbox. You have dealt with something that will happen to you once in a blue moon, but now you know how it feels, and next time you'll have a better strategy to deal with it. And it always, as I told Destiny, it always feels worse than it is, because when things like that happened to me, I was just like devastated, and then I kind of, you know, shakily look at it, you know, cringingly, and then it doesn't really look as bad as it felt to me. So don't worry about it. There were a lot of things that tested you, tested our intrepid producer, our intrepid anchor, who handled it very, very well. I have some ideas not to use the word package because this is our lingo. That's a story. This is the wrong story. Try to explain to the viewers this was the wrong story. We're trying to get the right story up, and that's why we asked you at that point to ask questions so that we could keep the audience engaged. while we found her package. And that's what we did. And I'll watch what you guys did. I wasn't able to, there was a lot going on, but I thought you handled it as best as you can in such a situation. And yeah, but try not to use the jargon, the package. But we'll talk more about this. I want to hand over the mic, so to speak, over to you, Tom, our wonderful engineer. And
so, good things first. Pre-show for the first time was recorded before 3 o'clock. So, and that was an aggressive pre-show tease. I mean, it was, using the jargon, it was 3 VOs and a SOT.
Our first one with a SOT.
And readers in 34 seconds. So kudos to you guys for being that aggressive, and kudos to Piper, who was our TD for that one, pulling that off. Questions that I got asked a couple of times today, and I just want to go ahead and put it out there. VOSOTs, 2 separate videos. And the reason is, if you write your VO portion and it is longer, yeah? I don't know. Maybe I did my camera, I'm not talking to anybody. You can hear me now? Okay, great. So for your VOSOTs, it's 2 different pieces. Your voiceover piece for your video and then your SOT. And because if you write your voiceover piece longer than the video, then you're going to do this weird quick transition. Or worse, you have 5 seconds of just naked video with no way to get to the next piece. So always 2 pieces on that. Piggybacking on that, today, of all the elements of this show, I wanted, and I did a rough count, say that 7 pieces that were imported were labeled correctly. If it's something about mentorship and a video title is Succeed, we don't know that. So
yeah, that was the problem when your package was not labeled in the same way as it was slugged in the rundown. So that explains why we were not able, we struggled to find it, and we did find it, but we didn't know what it was called, so it took a while to find it, yeah.
After 4:30, like, you need to come and like make eye contact with one of us to go, hey, my package is in, because what happened today with that House bill package we didn't get, we had done everything else, and they said to somebody in passing, I remember hearing it, hey, that video's in, but we'd already imported everything else, so the message didn't get to it. So
that was Josh's package?
That was Josh's package.
And it came late?
It was after rundown meeting. I don't know what time it was, I can tell you that. But it came in after our main ingest. So the way that works, so you guys know, we take the rundown and everything that's in there, it just goes straight into the TriCaster after our rundown meeting, after everything is finalized. So anything after that point, we have to go do it differently. We have to do a different process and we have to time it, because if we do it the wrong time, we'll mess up the show. Rundown creator templates. When you start, it's a blank box. If you go to the bottom right, insert A, like the first 6 things are different templates. They'll help you a ton to make sure it's coded right so that you can see. And if you're going for live shots or doing live shots, make sure all of your stuff is in before you do it. Just putting parentheses doesn't do it in Rundown Creator. You have to put the parentheses and insert your video. Sorry about the technical stuff. Listen, I love an aggressive show. It was an aggressive show. We had 3 live shots and a ton of graphics and a ton of video pieces. But the labeling will help us a ton on that. And we're still working through the graphic process, the workflow. We get that and get that cleaned up and make it a lot better.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm good.
Cassidy, you want to?
Again, like, I don't know, just like re-emphasizing things Tom said, and like again, sorry for sort of the technical snafus on our end. The volunteers are all doing a great job with just a couple stuff, sort of translating from moving things around and directing side of things. The one thing that just really helps out, it's a super small thing, but if you put like not just naming your packages with the names of the slug, but also putting A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, like that sort of thing right in front, that's super duper helpful. So if something does get floated, we know all what's involved with that. So like if B2 has a VO and a SAW and it gets floated, we make sure we're moving or skipping both of those, versus if one is named with B2 and the second one doesn't have a B2 in it, we might go straight to that, and then if B3 doesn't have anything, go straight to that thing thinking it's B3. It's not B3. So in addition to making sure that like the name matches up, if you can also drop the letter and number in the front, that's a little tiny change that can be super helpful on our end when things are moving around in the course of the show.
I think that will be very helpful. And that's what I tell the producer when they communicate to you and the anchor. It's easier and faster to say B1 is floated instead of using the slug. And if it's also labeled with the letter and mislabeled with the slug, you can still find it in small tree because you have the right letter. So I think let's try to do that from now on, because it'll really make a big difference using those letters.
Part of that's on our end, like
That's a great idea. So let's all remember to do that. Yeah. Cassidy, that's a great point. And thank you. You fought for to get things right, and it wasn't easy for you. I've got a mic, so yeah. So I want to hear from you guys. I just have a few very quick things. When you introduce a character in your package, like you, Destiny, always show us, film those people talking to someone, doing something. When you mention their names, both your characters, we needed to see them doing something, talking. So when you introduce people, show them also. Wanted to ask all of you to prepare a little bit better. There were a lot of people who thought they were MMJs, had to have 2 sources. Several people didn't even have 1 source. And then things fall through once in a blue moon, yes, but to have to come with a viable story with 2 sources and not have even 1, or have 1 on, it doesn't help. We need to do better, and just kind of we talked about this in the morning, just try to be better prepared. And you see how it takes longer for stories to come through because people are busy. And so I agree, if they're breaking news stories, that we've turned you, away from your 2-source story to a breaking news story, you get what you can, and that is perfectly okay. So just focus on working on several stories at the same time, and that will really help you. If your beat is not generating news that week, always have a backup. You're working on something. If a story is falling through, but you've been working on it for a long time, don't give up on it. Keep working on it. So that's what I wanted to ask, because I noticed that a lot of you were not able to do a 2-story or package, and so 2-source package, I mean. Ali, I wanted to ask you to keep your thoughts shorter. I thought the thoughts, some of them were a little too long, and sort of, if you can try to say more with words than keep long sound bites, that will really help you. I like the stand-up was very creative that you did with very poor video. You have very few options with that story, but if you could keep the thoughts shorter. With the weather and the anchor, when you toss to somebody, in the studio, like Hannah, you were looking for Maddie beyond the camera. So look at the camera, because that creates the illusion that you're looking at Maddie. And thank you. You were very intrepid also, because we asked you to shorten your weather, and you were able to just give us the 5-day weather. At the end, you could have wrapped it up. How could you have wrapped it up and buttoned it up a little better? What could you? We threw that at you, and you did the best that you could. But what could you have said?
I think I could have said, and that's the weather for this week, or something really.
Yeah.
I guess since it was so
Exactly.
Sudden, it was so sudden, I was kind of nervous.
I know. But now you can do better next time. That's why we placed you in all these situations. Yes. So that's, we're not hearing her? Wait. continuing with that technical, today we are jinxed, but that's okay. We're learning how to deal with it. So now you have a better plan and a better strategy. That's right. That's what it's all about. Don't worry, guys, that everything sort of fell apart at certain points. That is the point, to place you in those situations, because all of you are learning from what's going on wrong and how we handled it and how we can handle it in a better way. You did great, because that is not easy to cut things short on live air where you've planned and to have a 2-minute weather, and then we told you just do the 5-day weather forecast and don't do the rest of it. And you didn't have time to practice, to think about it. But now you have a strategy if things go wrong again, and they will. Now nothing can scare you. You did great. I suggested, not to talk about packages. And try to keep the viewers informed as much as possible what went wrong, if you know and if we've told you. So I mentioned, you could have said we not to say we have technical difficulties every time. If you have a little more specific answer. Yeah, but you were a natural. You did great. One thing about the pre-show tease, you didn't see that you were like at the end? You didn't edit out you just kind of looking around kind of thing?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were like, and I don't know if you didn't see it. It was a wonderful tease the way you edited it, but you didn't see yourself sort of looking.
We didn't trim the end. That's us.
But you didn't get to see that you weren't trimmed?
No, I didn't see that
Okay.
happen.
So, but you guys did it all?
Yeah, we did it at like 2:30 something.
Oh, so you didn't edit it by yourself, just kind of adding on the B-roll. Oh, okay, they did. So, forgive me then, you had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could have looked.
No. I just thought that you edited the thing, and because I've noticed you guys when you do your stand-ups in the field, I keep forgetting to tell you, so turn on the camera in the field, stand and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then start speaking. So you give yourself a little pad before that. Same thing, before you reach for the camera at the end, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then reach for the camera. Because I saw a few reaches for the camera before, right after your last one. It's a very simple thing, and I forgot to mention it last week, so now I remembered because of that, and it's not your fault. So I don't want to bore you too much. I want to hear from you. Anything else important? I think I don't have anything else that I wanted to say, and it's, let's see. Yeah, it's over to you, Sydney. And then want to hear from our digital, from Logan as well, and then from you guys what adventures you had. That was good. We sort of threw you also a little bit with the wrong soundbite. Was it the wrong soundbite? Yeah. Oh no, we didn't have the soundbite, but we found it. Yes.
Yeah, we started playing the video before they put the SOT, but yeah, thanks for making my first time producing a adventure. Yes, adventure. I'll use that word. We had 3 live shots planned for this show, which I was proud of. Owen, I'm so sorry we could not use you. I kind of feel bad. I made Owen go home and change because he only had on a t-shirt. And
assume you're always on camera.
He was like, there's a problem with me being live in the newsroom, and I thought it was just camera shy. He was like, I don't have anything to wear, and I was like, where do you live? And he was like, I was like, go home and change. I don't care what you have to do, just go home and change. But we will use you.
Well said.
We will use you next week, but I apologize for that. Thanks to Connor and Jules, my leadership team, for getting all these readers in for me. I thought honestly I was going to be low on content today because we were low 2 reporters today, because I'm like, that is 2 packages I'm missing, that is so much video I'm missing. We've got to get readers, and I think we used maybe 1 out of the 8 readers that we wrote today, so we were heavy on content.
I had never seen so many readers in my life.
It was definitely
and that was impressive.
It was definitely going to be reader land today, but luckily we only had to use 1 of them because I was worried about that. I was like, we have literally no video in this show, but it turned out to be great. Ashley, live shot looked great. You looked very confident on air. Who was my other live shot? Rachel, newsroom shot. That looked really good as well. Very confident. Everyone else really good show. Thanks for making it an adventure. And yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, there was some very strong packages that came together. Don't get me wrong, but some of you just kind of need to. I need to let you know that it takes more, and you guys know that.
And also, I have to add that Maddie, I was just screaming random stuff in her ear, and she handled it like an absolute professional on air. Could
Is this
not
your first
tell.
time anchoring, or have you done that before?
A couple of times, not live though. So
Yeah.
I was nervous to go
Yeah.
screaming on you.
You were a natural. You did very well. Yeah.
You told me like the right things to do, so I was able to kind of handle it.
You looked really good on air.
So thank you.
But that is all from me.
Yeah.
I'll
Logan,
pass-
do you have a mic?
Okay. I'm trying to think. Thank you to everyone who made my job a lot easier today. I didn't get to post as much stuff as I liked. I planned a lot and then realized I was kind of over-posting, so some things will be posted tomorrow. I think Cooper's mini package will do very well on Instagram in particular. I'm also going to probably post that over on
Yeah, and it's going to help a lot of people, keep a lot of,
Yeah.
and she was very creative.
Yeah.
Without any sources, she was the source, she was the star, but for a good reason. She was very creative, really showing us what to do, and I think that demo will do well on social. I totally agree, and it will be very useful. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I was very nervous for this role. I'm not a social media girl. I have like 3 posts from my Instagram in all of the 5 years I've had it. So
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was actually a lot more fun than I thought. I really liked the analytics, evaluating what I think is going to go best on which platform. So that was really fun. It's kind of like a puzzle piece, piecing everything together.
Logan, you've got the mind of a producer. I've noticed that.
Thank you.
Yeah. You get content and what's a good story, and I can't say how you did on social media because I haven't seen what you did, but yeah, you know how to place content and sort of work with it in your mind. Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. So, anything else you wanted to?
Oh no. Thanks,
okay.
guys.
Anybody wants to share something they learned? Colin.
So, just I guess quick question: why did we go away from pre-recording weather and sports? Just out of curiosity.
Because we want you guys to have more experience with live and have things go wrong, so that you learn here how to deal with unexpected situations, to give you more reps in live anchoring and ad-libbing.
Okay. I mean that's great experience, but it's like also like I can't use any of what I just did for my reel. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't
what
help
I was
but be
going
a
to
little
suggest is
frustrated.
always, I think I mentioned that before, that you always have to have some kind of bullet point, something either in your phone or papers.
Oh no, I did, but like when commercials start playing over,
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and I've been a volunteer, so it's like, and I get it. It's not easy, but it'd be easier if we pre-recorded weather and sports. And I'm 0 for 2 now because I had problems with weather too. My mic didn't work. I don't know. I'm just frustrated. But
Well, Colin, how about you talk to Tom and the volunteers and see if you could record something, record your sports or something, so that you have something for your reel while if they don't have anybody that they need to record between 2 and 3, they
Okay.
could easily
I
do
can do
that.
that.
Just talk to them about that.
yeah, and like I said, like it's not mad at the volunteers. I mean, like I've been there. I know it's
Yeah,
tricky.
yeah.
But yeah.
But it's about I think I mentioned that to you because you asked me, you say you want to be an anchor, and I told you you probably get just one chance at news anchoring. Then I talked to you about using those opportunities to get reps, and in a way you can show how cool you are on live air when things go wrong. So don't don't think that this can't be something. I wouldn't put it on my reel,
Yeah.
But that's something that if somebody asks you, so, you know, did you have anything on live air that went wrong? How did you handle it? You can easily show the proof of how well you handled it. So think of it also in a way that you have evidence of how you deal with things that will, unfortunately, will happen on live air. And that very early on, while you were a student, this is how you handled it, which is quite impressive. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you redo the sports, try not to do that 8-day story. Try to.
Well, I mean, I ended up cutting that anyways because the graphic was wrong, so I just
Yeah, but always think of the newsy things that, or if it's an 8-day story, maybe it has a today angle.
Yeah.
And then it works. But you don't want to, because people are not, you know, stupid. They've heard it 8 days ago, and they're like, what is he talking about? You know, so you don't look good. That's why we want newsy stories. Yeah. But you're welcome to talk to Tom and get something recorded. Yeah. But I highly recommend you doing things live, because you will not get this chance for things to fail on you, or for you to, you know, even if there are no technical glitches, for you to make some mistakes, and next time it happens, you already have the, you know, the muscle memory, the brain memory of how to handle it. It'll come automatic to you, because you've come up now that Hannah came up with that strategy. What would she do if she's asked to shorten something and wrap it up real quick? Sometimes you could be talking live on air as a live reporter, and the producer can say, wrap up. And at that point, don't do like I did once when I was, you know, green. I stopped in mid-sentence, and I tossed back to the anchor. Finish your sentence. And then I learned it the hard way, and it really felt bad. So it wasn't that bad. So yeah, so finish your sentence. Try to have a wrap, kind of a wrap if you can, like we talked with Hannah, and toss it back. So those would be my suggestions. But don't feel bad about it. I think you have proof that no matter what happens, Colin Oakes will save the day somehow. And the prompt was in the right place. So that would be my suggestion, to talk to Tom and see if you can get something recorded soon. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
So first off, I just want to say good job everybody today, because, you know, expectations and package were 2 minutes every day, but I feel like today was really realistic of, like, you know, everything falling apart, but you still need to turn something for air, and I think everybody did that really, like, masterfully, honestly.
Creatively, yeah.
A lot of our stuff was really pretty much in on time, or right before time as well.
That's true.
The one thing I would just say is bug the ever-living daylights out of your assignment editor of where you're at, because, you know, Sydney and I are going back and forth over here, you know, where's this person at, or what's their status. So just constantly keep your assignment editor, you know, up to the minute of what exactly you're doing.
That's your job, to stay on top of things. Yeah.
But it makes
to
it
be in
easier
touch
going
with
both
them.
ways,
Yeah.
right?
And also, let your assignment editor know if you're in trouble or you're late, but also because people might forget.
Right.
It's your job to bug people. So, yeah. But it's, great point too. Yeah, so again, when things go wrong and, you know, both sources, or, you know, fail you've got to come up with creative sources, and you guys handled a lot of things went wrong today when we think about this from the very morning of when sources fell through. And so, guys, you know, even don't feel demoralized about today. I think, in a way, I think that this day was more important as a learning experience than times when everything has gone right. Yeah. So I'm proud of you, and I think we can do better on Monday. And why don't we do it again on Monday? And anybody else wants to say something?
I just want to echo what Professor V and Connor both said. Like, seriously, after that rundown meeting this morning, I'm looking at an empty rundown and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got 30 minutes of content to fill. And I've got 2 reporters that are
24, because you've got
20
breaks.
Breaks, yes. But I've got 2 reporters that are not here. That is 2 packages I'm missing. That is so much video that I'm missing. What is the show going to look like? And it turned out, I mean, like you said, this was probably the most realistic show that we've had. You know, things always don't go topsy-turvy perfect. Like, you go in thinking that you have this plan. Things don't go according to plan, and I think everyone here very much handled themselves very professionally. No one freaked out. No one cried that I saw, at least. But
maybe in the bathroom or something.
I was going to say, internally, I don't know what you were doing, but I think everyone was very professional today, and I mean, we made air. It was great.
Yeah, you're a great group. You know, there's so much tension in this newsroom. Usually, this is the toughest class, I think, that you take. And sometimes tempers can flare, but you guys, like on a day like today, and they have, and we've had to talk to people because I don't allow this in my newsroom. But you guys held it all together. Yeah, nobody shouted at somebody also. Yeah, so it was impressive. You did great, guys, and let's do it again on Monday. Yeah, this is not easy, so but we all have this fire in our belly for this job. I don't know why. I still have it, and I still just love it. And if you love it, if you have that fire in your belly, it's worth it. It's a great job. Yeah. So I hope I lifted your spirits a little bit, and thank you for everything you did today. And
a lot of fun.
That came together very well. I love that opening shot with the phone and how you wrote to it and how you shot it. And I loved, Olivia, yours came together really good as well. So, all right, guys, get some rest. No crying. Just be proud that you learned a lot. Darling, have you been able to get anybody to switch with you so you don't miss your anchoring on the March? I would hate for you to. Although you have something for your reel, I guess not from here anchoring, but I would hate for you to miss that opportunity.